Hey guys, how is everybody doing with the brand new Wonka film releasing in theaters this Friday? I've decided to take a look back at the original, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, based off the novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So today you'll be getting my thoughts on the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and tomorrow you'll get my thoughts on the remake of it, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, directed by Tim Burton. So, that's going to be a fun ride. I'm very excited for the brand new Wonka movie coming out, and it feels so good to be back recording videos because I've been gone for almost a month. Wow, time flies when you get old. Up with my positives on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is probably my biggest positive of the film. Well, besides one, and that is the relationship between Charlie Bucket and Grandpa Joe. Now, Joe and Charlie have a great relationship in this movie to where it's moving and it's lovely and it's also just really heartwarming to see these two characters love each other. Especially there's a scene where Charlie gets some money from his day-to-day routine delivering newspapers. He has money and he tries to give it to Grandpa Joe, but he's like, no, you take it. He's like, but I'm going to pay for your tobacco this time. And then, since the golden tickets have been announced, uh, Grandpa Joe takes the money Charlie gave him, doesn't buy for tobacco, but buys chocolate for Charlie to try and find the golden ticket. That is a really good moment there between those characters, and especially when Grandpa Joe goes to Willy Wonka when he thinks that Charlie should have gotten the lifetime supply of chocolate by now, and he starts calling Willy Wonka a crook since he didn't get it, and he starts stepping up for Charlie. Scenes between those two, with just showing their love together, was great, and those two actors had looked like they had great chemistry because I felt their love and I felt their emotions. I loved every moment when those two characters were on screen together. It was great, and it just really warmed up my heart, and it made me go like, "Ah, oh, that's sweet," because I loved seeing their relationship throughout this entire film. Next positive is a subplot I was really glad that they also really added into this movie. So I actually read the book of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory preparation for the new film coming out, and before I rewatched these movies to see the differences between the two films, and I was like, since it's based off a book, I might as well read it. But I was surprised to learn that there's no Slugsworth subplot in the book, and where at the end of the film, Charlie kind of only wins by default in the at the end of the book because he finished the tour. But what if all five kids made it? Who gets the chocolate factory then? So I'm really glad they added the subplot about Slugsworth to where this guy says, if you give me a gobstopper, I'll give you $10,000 and you can pay for all these things. But then at the end, Charlie refuses to give him it and he gives it back to Willy Wonka. And Willy Wonka says, you have passed.
Charlie, my boy, you won! You did it! You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would!
You have passed and you get my chocolate factory now. I love that because he doesn't win by default and he doesn't win by just, oh, I finished the tour, so I get the chocolate factory now. That just doesn't feel as special. But when he actually did something to earn it, like refused to give him the gobstopper, and just shows that he's not willing to give other people the secrets and the recipes to all of these magical candies Willy Wonka has made, and no other candy maker can do this. That just shows that Charlie is a reliable owner and is a reliable kid to where Willy Wonka fully trusts Charlie to take over his chocolate factory. I love that to where every kid, after they got a golden ticket, this guy supposedly named Slugsworth comes up to him and whispers in their ear where like the first four kids, you don't know what he's saying, but you have a suspicious there's something suspicious going on to where you don't know what he's saying, but you have a big suspicion that something big's gonna happen. But when Charlie finally finds the final golden ticket, Slugsworth shows up and says, if you get me a gobstopper, I will give you $10,000 to where you're able to buy all these great things, to buy a brand new house, buy all the food in the world that you want, to feed you, your mother, your grandparents, and everything, if you give me a gobstopper. But Charlie refuses and he wins the chocolate factory. That just shows that he's a reliable kid, and I love that subplot to where it actually makes sense. And I honestly don't understand why Ronald Dahl, who wrote the book of Charlie and Chocolate Factory, does not like that subplot, which I really don't understand why. The thing I was really surprised about in this movie upon this rewatch was the comedy. Now, I'm a hard audience when it comes to comedy. You gotta really make me laugh when it comes to a film. Either it's like really dumb humor or ranchy humor. Humor that's not really meant to be funny is what I usually kind of laugh at. But surprisingly, for a kids movie, this movie made me laugh like a lot, and it wasn't really kid friendly either. To where it was like a lot of adult humor, but it makes sense because this movie did come out in 1971. So the comedy actually made me laugh. Like probably my favorite part was when the teacher was like really upset that he didn't get a golden ticket. All the golden tickets were apparently found, and he's going over percentages and math, and Charlie's like, "Oh, I only opened two," and he's like, "Okay, 200." He's like, "No, just two." Only two? I can't figure out two out of 1,000%. Let's just say you found 200. I can't figure out 2%. That scene really got a laugh out of me. I cracked up after that. I really don't understand why. And my favorite part with Willy Wonka that really made me laugh was when Augustus or something like that is like going up into the pipe and he's like eating chocolate. He's like, the suspense is killing me. I hope it'll
Terrible. He's gonna go this time. I hope it'll last.
last. And he's just eating chocolate. That was a really funny scene. Surprisingly, this movie made me laugh like a lot, and I didn't really expect it to, which is very surprising in my mind. This thing that never really works for me at all when it comes to movies. Now, I'm not a musical guy. I don't like movies that are musicals. They don't usually work for me. That's never been my thing for films. That's never been a thing that I've always loved. But for some reason, this movie works for me. Maybe because how iconic this movie is and how iconic the songs in this movie have come to be, like Oompa Loompa, the Candyman can, If You Want to View Paradise. Like, those songs alone are iconic and one of the most praised songs in like the world. And I don't like musicals usually, but the music in this film works for me. I like it, especially the Oompa Loompa songs. Those songs are really catchy and I really like them.
Oompa loompa doompa dee doo. I've got a perfect puzzle for you. Oompa loompa doompa dee dee. If you are wise, you'll listen to me.
I like Do You Want to If You Want to View Paradise, also a great song. Like I love almost every song that's in this movie. It's so catchy, it's memorable, and I could catch myself singing this to where they're sometimes so memorable that they've been stuck in my head all week now. Next positive, besides the Charlie and Grandpa Joe side of this film, Gene Wilder is probably my favorite part about this entire film. Gene Wilder, rest in peace, is one of my favorite actors of all time and one of my favorite comedians of all time. I love that guy to death. He's always been one of my favorites. And what I like his take on Willy Wonka in this film, to where apparently he only said he would accept the role if he would make Willy Wonka more mysterious, because there's a part like the very first part of this movie where we see Willy Wonka, he just uncomfortably limps out of his factory to make it look like he's an old man. Then all of a sudden he somersaults. After that moment, you don't know if Willy Wonka's telling the truth or he's lying because he's a very mysterious man. And thank you to Gene Wilder, he made the character like that to where he's mysterious and you don't know what the next thing is what he's gonna do, and he's always sarcastic, like when the kids do this and that. When they get themselves into the situation, he just sits back and just like, "Ah, I told him it wouldn't work. It always happens with the blueberry pie." Mm. Like that alone, it's just like Gene Wilder's a genius. Why would you ever hate this guy? Especially like in Young Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
Excuse me, Frankenstein. My bad. Like Gene Wilder is such a legend, and to me, he is the definitive answer for Willy Wonka. Final positive is I do like the set pieces of this movie to where the set pieces really make like the chocolate room like come to life, like the chocolate waterfall, all the giant like suckers, all the like giant jawbreakers. I almost called them gobstoppers for some reason. Like that room alone, it's like, holy crap, that looks cool. And just even like outside the chocolate factory where you just see like the big city and all that, where I believe this movie takes place in Germany. I don't think they say. Do they say? Well, the movie was shot in Germany, anyways. But yeah, I love the set pieces. And really every set piece in like just like the factory itself really makes each room like come to life to where it makes you kind of feel that you're in there yourself. Like mainly the chocolate room is like the main thing that comes to my mind when it comes to the set pieces. Like when you just look at that room and it's like it's genius the way that they brought this thing to life. It's like how do they do it? I imagine making that room was a pain too, because like when you look at it, it's like, how did they get all this done? How did they get like melted chocolate and a big ass gobstopper? I said it. I did. Jawbreaker, not gobstopper. Jawbreaker. You know those things that you're supposed to suck on for like years. Anyways, I love that. That's probably like the main thing that really stands out in this entire film is just that chocolate room, man. It like makes it come to life somehow. I don't know how they do it in Hollywood. I miss old Hollywood. And my negatives, and if anything, this is more of a nitpick. If anything, uh, what's this bullshit with Grandpa Joe just able to just get up and walk like he's been lying in this bed for 20 years? I'll get up one day. You'll see. I'll get up and go to work one day. I'll help out little Charlie. And then the day he gets the golden ticket is like ticket. I'm like, oh, I'm up. I can do this and that now. I'll go to the chocolate factory with you.
A bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit.
Especially in the book, which is stupid. When I read the book, I expected it to be like kind of like that, like in this movie, to where he's like, where they're trying to help him get up, but no. When in the book of the Charlie and Chocolate Factory, it's even worse because he sees that Charlie wins it and he just jumps up like hooray, like he was able to walk like the entire time, like he doesn't get help up. He's just so excited that he gets up and just like hooray! Charlie won the golden ticket. Holy shit! Look, I can walk! Yay! It's like, dude, you're able to walk now after your grandson just won like a golden ticket where he gets a lifetime supply of chocolate. Oh yeah, I'll probably get half of that, right? That it's stupid. I don't understand it. Again, it's more of a nitpick, but it's so stupid. It's just like, oh, look at me, everybody. I'm able to walk now because Charlie won the golden ticket. Look at me, yay! It's it's always bothered me for some reason. All in all, guys, I really love this movie. Other than that little tiny little nitpick, little negative thing, I love this movie. It's a great film, and I love this film. I love the music. I love the performance by Gene Wilder. I love almost everything about this movie that this movie has to offer for me. This movie is great, and if you have not seen it, I don't understand why. If you have read the book and you're cautious about watching this film, or maybe you watched the remake and you don't want to watch this film, check it out. So, if you're a fan of musicals and feel-good movies, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is definitely for you. So if you haven't already, go out and buy it. What do you guys think about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you like this film? Do you not like this film? Do you prefer the remake over this film? Which I will be talking. I will give my thoughts on that very controversial film. Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. If you like this video, like it, and if you love it, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will get notified for my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time.